I, as a citizen of capital markets, interpret the allegations made by Hindenburg not as just irresponsible, not merely frivolous, but they're actually, cheap antics and cheap theatrics. God alone knows what their real intent is. If nothing but to try and break the sentiments of the retail Indian investors who have been thronging India's capital markets on an unbridled bull market here in India, so much so that it's also prevailing in many parts of the globe, and break those sentiments. And why do I conclude this? What they wrote is that the husband of the Sebi chairman, Ms. Madhavi Puri Butch, way back in 2017, made some investments through an investment fund managed by IIFL in Singapore. And the only basis of creating some sort of a cunning, sly insinuation, not even a direct allegation. Forget about any allegations of bribery, wrongdoing, connivance, conflict of interest. No, there's no allegation. It's a very cunning, very, very cunning and clever insinuation, an irresponsible action, in which they are saying that the husband of the Sebi chairman, Ms. Madhavi Puri Butch, routed investments through a certain investment vehicle of IIFL in Singapore, and Hindenburg had made allegations 18 months back that even Adani's had used that fund. Now, I mean, this is shamelessness of another order that we usually don't get to see in business life. I mean, just look at the parallels. Say it was, to make it simpler, say if it was not an investment fund, but say if it is a bank in which somebody used that bank and another third person made an allegation, this person has done perhaps something wrong inside this bank. And now 18 months later, they come and say, oh, Sebi chairman's husband also used that bank. To make it even simpler, say if somebody was to make an allegation that XYZ cheated someone inside a restaurant, and that allegation has been proven absolutely frivolous, even then somebody comes after 18 months to say that, oh, Sebi chairman's husband also went to that restaurant. I mean, what are you trying to do? So just because markets had lapsed heavily because of a larger conspiracy with other short sellers, global hedge funds, and a local number of local large deep pockets, that would naturally set in a scare within the Indian investing population. So fake news that has become a serious alarm with the onset of social media and media, it's not merely, and that too is considered deeply criminal now, because it vitiates minds, it creates havoc. But financial markets are information sensitive, they're perception sensitive. And if somebody is regularly going to keep playing these pranks here, this is not a mere prank. I mean, it's a substantial thing. Ulta chor kotwal ko date, aur wo bhi kis tarike se? Mrs. Butch's husband made investments through a certain fund in 2017 when she was just becoming the whole-time director. No substantiated declarations of any facts, no connections of any facts, no specific allegation. And the company that manages that fund has already issued letter to the stock exchange that never at any point in time the Butch family had more than 1.5% of the total funds AUM as any investments. And the peak size of the fund was only $48 million. So if Adani's used that fund and all has been all discredited. So this kind of nuisance that is getting created, it's not prank. It's hardcore nuisance with a mens rea, a criminal intent to damage faith of the people in the capital markets of India. See, because Sebi is a unique regulator, any officers, in particular the chairman of Sebi, cannot be treated as a magistrate, even though Sebi is a lawmaker. It is a law, it applies the law, it acts as a magistrate, and it also acts as a police or inspector to enforce the law. So given that, there's a blur, but had this been done to any magistrate or a judge of any court attributing motives to the judicial officer or the presiding officer, it would be clear-cut a case of contempt of the court. And why is the contempt of court even defined as a crime in our legal system. People cannot lose faith in the regulator. People cannot lose faith in the judiciary. People, unless and until there is faith and belief, how will any party seek redressal of any grievances? So it's an anarchic move. It's not merely a prank. It's an anarchic move. It's set out with an intent to create disarray and total disorder. I really hope at the kind of muddiness in this, the murkiness in this, some appropriate advocates would pick up the cause and file a PIL that just about anyone cannot walk in and start damaging, the integrity of our institutions.